Okay, so what number it is? It's number 1, and showing laptop 2, which is this one. Just swap. Let's see if this works. Ooh, what's it doing? No, it's good. Maybe some. Yeah. Okay. Right. We're on. Hello, everyone. My name is Jonas Hall. I work as a teacher at a secondary school in an ordinary town north of Stockholm in Sweden. I also manage the Swedish GeoGebra Institute in Sweden, and I'm also now a board member of Mattecentrum in Sweden, which is a non-profit organization that organizes workshops for students that they can just come and have help with their homework, and it's based on volunteer activity. And they also have a strong net activity with online textbook material and online tutoring through like Teams and stuff. I will try to show some things about our website and how we now manage resources. We were like the last country to actually get the right domain for GeoGebra. Some private guy stole it right under our noses like 10 years ago, and kept GeoGebra stuff there, so I didn't want to mess with him. But then suddenly when I was looking, he'd just not renewed it and it had gone back to the domain provider. So I said, can we please have this? And I'm a poor guy and I work for free and this is non-profit and please. And they said, well, we'll give it to you free. And I said, thank you. So that was this spring. So we've been restructuring materials there, and we've done, in collaboration with the Mattecentrum, done some instruction videos. So let's just start off by having a look at the site. So this is a typical WordPress blog, basically. I try to push something out every Friday, and it's currently under the theme of GeoGebra for teachers. So how do you do this, and why should you do it, and how does your students benefit from it? The main point I would like to stress is that we've got a fair number of links here, especially links to YouTube material, and we have links to what I call resource folders. And we, of course, have a link to the Swedish support Facebook group. I think every country now has one, yeah, okay. Possibly, at least the Nordic countries.
I have to go to get Daniel here. He's even more lost than me.
Yeah, okay. And, well, you can investigate it yourselves. Google Chrome is quite good at translating websites. Let's go back here and have a look at some other things. The weekly updates I have a plan for, and these presentations have already been published in the MGGN Infinity group, and you can also download them directly from a QR code which will be shown at the end. But I've got a planning document simply saying what have I done and what should I be doing next. We use Facebook groups to announce this. The Swedish Math Education Facebook group has 20,000 participants, which is quite a lot. What are resource folders? I went with Dropbox many years ago just to make sure I didn't have to do local backup. Dropbox connects to online storage facility, and whatever I do on my hard drive in the Dropbox folder, which is basically my top level folder, everything is then replicated to the cloud, and I can access it on my mobile phone and etc. I think you're all well aware of these possibilities. Microsoft has OneDrive, which works the same way, which is a corporate solution. Dropbox is more like a private solution. A lot of universities use Box, although I believe that Gothenburg University just issued a statement to say that researchers shouldn't be using Box. And I recently lost 4 hours of work when Box did not only not sync, but also erased what I'd done on my hard drive. So I'm not using Box anymore. So what I do is I simply manage my own hard drive, and I put all sorts of material there, materials that I have done myself, and also material that I have found. And anyone with a link to the Dropbox folder can access this. One thing I find in Dropbox is that it presents everything in alphabetical order, and you can't change that. So I try to number important documents and folders so that they automatically are ordered in the way I want them to be presented to the users. Also, you can't see something on the net and say, oh, that would be nice to have, I'll add it later. This will never work. You have to have the mental setting that once you see something, you immediately put it where it should be. So even if you're on the phone, you should know how to download something, put it in the correct Dropbox folder, or if it's a website that you like, get the address and make a Windows shortcut to this website and put it in the Dropbox folder. I've tried to teach teachers at my school to do this. So there's a YouTube playlist, which I believe is in Swedish, but possibly some of you may have some use of that. In doing screencasts, I was really reluctant to doing like better videos. I was more of a photo guy. I don't like videos. I don't understand them. But I realized I had to start to do them, especially when we got the websites online this spring. So I sat down and I said to myself, I had to work out a procedure to do this. And of course, first of all, you've got to have a YouTube channel to dump them into. And there's a link to my channel there. And if you don't know how to create a YouTube channel, basically you create a new Google account if you haven't got one, and then you move on from there. There's a link to that as well. You also have to put the videos in playlists which are relevant and have nice names that you can link to, because if you link to a playlist, then you can fill it up later with stuff and you don't need to change the link. I use ScreencastOMatic, which is one of these basically free tools, but I actually pay like 10-15 euros a year for it, because I then get the editing tools and some other benefits. The workflow document is fairly structured and in English. So, what is this? Right, let's forget about that and find it in the so this is what it looks like. And one of the things I had to start with was the design of how do I generally think when I do a video. So I want to not do the entire screen because I want to have a script next to it. So I do them in a 1280 by 720 area. I always work from a textbook style problem so that there is some sort of focus. It's not just a technical video, but it's got a focus. We need to solve a problem. How do we do that then? And then there's instructions of, well, instructions. This is just a log basically of what I do. I record video, I edit the video, I record the audio separate after I've recorded the video, because then I can do one thing at a time. You know, I'm a man. And then I combine and publish it. So anyone wants to look at that, you're happy to do so. You're free to do so. I was actually, before we go into that, I was actually going to think to show one of these videos, or maybe two. We shall see what time is. Yeah, we've got time. So here's a 60-second video. Sorry for the Swedish. But basically, I work with text overlays because one of my design ideas is that students who watch this should be able to watch it silently without sound and still be able to get it. So this is about how to find a function going through 2 points. And when I've recorded the video, I record it at my leisure, but then using the editing tools, I can speed parts up so that this video is fairly short and still to the point. And that was that. Yeah. So
what program did you do the annotation?
That's ScreencastOMatic. It's just editing the same. That's what I pay 15 euros a year for. ScreencastOMatic. This one with the dashes in the right place. So then this autumn I got a mail from a couple of research colleagues at the University of Karlstad saying, we're working on something, would you like to be part of that? And Skolverket, the Swedish Board of Education, has decided that the future digital national tests in Sweden will use GeoGebra as a digital tool. Yes?
As the digital tool or as a digital tool?
Well, this is unclear at the moment. As far as I can understand, it seems to be the digital tool, which means that every single math teacher at least secondary school level in Sweden should learn it. And considering that only 15% of teachers at secondary school in Sweden now actually say that they are using digital tools more than 50% of their lessons, we've got a way to go. And also all their students should learn GeoGebra in order to be prepared properly for the national tests. So when people are waking up to this, the first test is in 2025, almost 3 years, but not quite. It's going to be a rush. Yeah.
Follow up to that. So I'm also from Sweden. So
yeah.
In the Läroplan, the curriculum for Math 3 and 4, there's a programming part.
Mm-hmm.
Is that supposed to be also?
No, I don't think so, because it doesn't actually say you have to teach programming. No, it just says you should allow for students to solve problems.
No plan on it becoming like a part of
No, not that I know.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, Skolverket, Board of Education, is very quiet about this.
Yeah. Okay.
Because basically they don't know themselves. They haven't worked things out yet. There's no test site yet, for instance. But they have then ordered the National Center for Mathematics to do what we call a learning module, where teachers sit down, read a text, talk, decide what to do in class, go out, do it in class, come back, discuss what they've learned, that sort of stuff. So there's some texts to be done, there's some activities to be done, and this is the work that I'm now involved in doing.
Is it possible to sign up for that? Or are those already chosen?
Well, it's a matter of money, I think. So Skolverket is paying NCM to do it, and they've set up this little task group to do it. They have shown some screenshots saying that, one way of using GeoGebra in this would be showing images of things. Another way would be to do a video showing, which is really one of these exported GIFs where you let a slider go from end to end and showing the results. Another thing is where you actually use GeoGebra, but you only have a few tools to work with. And the fourth, which they haven't shown a screenshot of, is a general GeoGebra calculator. But some of the screenshots are of Calculator Suite and some are of Classic. So we who are now trying to do material to instruct the teachers have sent back the question, which version are you expecting us to teach to the teachers? And they haven't answered, and it's been a week. And they want this done by 28th of October. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In the Kunskapsmatrisen, it says they use the Classic.
Well, in screencast you can choose. The first thing that happens is that you choose either classic or one of the calculator suite ones. But screencast, as soon as you click on GeoGebra, I want to do well in exam.net, which is connected to screencast. Yeah. Anyway, so there are a few question marks still. We'll keep you updated. Here are a lot of links. The QR code will take you to a folder, but the presentation is also in the Facebook group. Any further questions?
How do you zoom?
You don't. It's a fixed.
Yeah, it's very.
Yeah, it's no.
A lot of close-ups.
Yeah, I do.
It's not a selfie camera.
No. I wanted you to take photographs of me.
You got a lot of photos.
Good.
But Jonas, surely a lot of schools already use GeoGebra national tests. I mean,
Yes, but still, if you look at the questionnaires, it's, the math teachers are the worst, except for the PE teachers. But PE teachers, this is understandable in some way. But then comes math teachers. All the other subjects, they use digital tools a lot more than math teachers. Yeah?
I know you created a lot of this on GeoGebra. You have this lessons, or I don't know what you call them.
Yeah, classroom stuff? Or
yeah, exactly. Do you link them?
Or,
do you...
Oh, you mean constructions and things?
Yeah, do you make them for the video? Like, do you...
Well, sometimes some of these I've done just for my class. Some of these I've done more with intent of sharing and put a little bit more effort into it. Some of it is results of paid work that some researcher has asked me to do for a project. I haven't actually done any serious construction work for the videos. In the videos, I just do everything from scratch and not do ready applets. But sometimes you do have to have them because it takes time to produce a random die throwing generator.
Can you show how you would use one of the applets?
Well, I would just throw it out and say, here, look what you can do. Play with it. Play with it for 5 minutes. One thing I do from scratch is say, type K space X plus M, enter. This is like AX plus B. And then play for 3 minutes. And then I say, okay, talk. What have you found? And then when they've talked, I say, okay, now do it again, but this time be quantitative. These numbers should show up somewhere in the graph. What number is where? Play for another 3 minutes. And then...
Can you show that?
Well,
with an example.
This is just...
Do your students use the program, or do they...
They use the program. I do everything from the basic. So I just say type KX plus M. Okay, now play.
Okay.
And they play and they say, whoa, when we do this, it turns. And when we do this, it goes back and forth. And then I say, fine, now do it quantitatively. Find the number. If this number is minus 1.2, you should be able to find minus 1.2 in the graph. Play again.
Yeah.
So, yes.
I have a little bit provocative question.
Yeah, good.
I've noticed in the materials you have demonstrated, the study materials about lessons online graphical calculator. What can you say about in comparison with GeoGebra?
Well, two things. Many things. GeoGebra is, in a sense, a non-profit organization almost-ish, whereas Desmos is more like a .com company. But so it's a slight difference in attitude. GeoGebra is built as a tool with a blank page to start with, whereas Desmos has ready-made activities and activity builder things. So they have a slightly different approach, I would say. I know teachers, Svetlana and Anders, for instance, they actively say that Desmos is better in classes which are weak, up to Math 2. You can use Desmos and not use GeoGebra. Fine, not a problem.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so no questions? Then I'm finished. Thank you.